Welcome back to another episode of ReZero Season 3. So this is gonna be the final episode of the season, which is sad, but also I'm really excited to see how they're gonna end this entire arc, because it's been nothing but craziness up until this point. And I'm gonna talk more about it at the end of the episode, obviously, because I want to give my full thoughts on the season. So let's talk about the previous episode. So first of all, obviously we had the entire fight between Aldebaran and Capella, which was really cool. You guys did kind of talk about a bit more in the comments about the entire conversation that Aldebaran had, and obviously there was some really cool stuff. I don't think I mentioned it in the episode, but him talking about like death and stuff like that was really interesting. And also another detail, obviously we then saw the fight between Gluttony and Julius on one side, and Gluttony and I'm not gonna say his name, not yet, on the other side, right? So one detail that Gluttony said in the previous episode when fighting the merchant was talking about Melee, at least when he was talking as one of the memories, right? He was mentioning Melee and stuff like that. And you guys did say, because in this version that I was watching, and also in the Crunchyroll version, the romanization and the translation of the name Melee was different than in Season 1. In Season 1, Melee is the little girl who has all of the mob beasts, right? Who's helping out Ilza. Ilza in the mansion and stuff like that. So the little girl who from the village and stuff like that, that's Melee. So that's interesting. I don't know what to make of that, but that's an interesting detail. I don't think we have enough information. They were talking about like how, oh, you weren't strong enough to protect someone in Melee. I don't remember the other name. But yeah, I don't think we have enough details to fully know exactly what that means, but that's really interesting. I'm gonna keep it in my head. Another thing is, obviously, we saw Roy's body. Was it Roy or was it Lai? I think it was Lai's body, actually. We saw Lai's body, which was like very roughed up, which kind of gives us hints that maybe their childhood wasn't as nice as you would expect. So that's fair enough. Once again, I don't have enough clues on his backstory to really make up my mind about it. And then the other thing is, what was it again? I had another thing to say. Oh yeah, the archbishops. I remember talking about how just because, you know, if Aldebaran is an archbishop of pride, I was like, oh, if just because he's an archbishop, it doesn't mean that he's necessarily bad and yada and that he's involved with the witches cult. And you guys did kind of correct some of the semantics on that. If you are an archbishop, that is a position in the witches cult. So that would automatically mean that you are, well, quote-unquote bad, right? We haven't met any archbishops that would be on our side, right? Obviously, Betelgeuse was kind of like weird, but he wasn't on our side. He was partially like, it kind of felt like he was, you know, brainwashed and stuff like that, but he wasn't on our side. Whereas Aldebaran, what I meant was not necessarily if he's if he is a archbishop. I was more so talking about the fact if he has a witch's factor of pride in him, then it doesn't mean necessarily that he's bad. But then if he does have a witch's pride or witch's factor of pride in him, then he wouldn't be named. Why would he be named after a constellation? You would usually get named after a constellation only if you became an archbishop, right? Because Subaru isn't named after a constellation, obviously, because he's not an archbishop, but he does have the factor of greed within him. So, interesting. I just thought about this when like right now at this moment. So no, it will make more sense if he is part of the witches cult and he is actually Archbishop of Pride because he's named after a constellation. And only once you become an Archbishop do you get named after a constellation. No, is that true? I think so. I'm not sure actually. When was when was Betelgeuse was also already named Betelgeuse before becoming an archbishop, right? Yeah, in Emilia's backstory he was already Betelgeuse before becoming an archbishop. So no, it wouldn't be the case then. They wouldn't be named after constellations only after becoming an archbishop. They could be named after constellations even before. I don't know, that's becoming weird in my brain. I don't know, I'm not gonna think too much about it. It's an interesting thought experiment, but anyways, let's just see how this all wraps up. So if you want to watch this uncut and unblurred, it's gonna be on my Patreon, which is down in the description. And let's go into ReZero Season 3 episode 16. Oh yeah, we also saw the REM stuff. Tell him, Beako. Nice! You know what I just remembered? If he only needs to know the name of the person that before he can eat them, then if he eats someone who's close to them, he can already automatically know their name by just looking into their memories, right? So that's why he knows obviously Beatrice's name. Luckily, Rem did meet Otto in this. Shoot, I said his name. Sorry, merchant. Rem did meet him in this timeline. I think so, unless I'm mixing up the timeline. So couldn't he peek into her memories to figure out his name? I'm not sure how it works. Oh. Oh. Okay. I suppose. Let's see it. Here we go. An Al spell. Oh, never mind. Yeah. Yeah, sounds about right. Oh. Oh. Oh? What happened to them? One of them. Whoa. Was that two of them? Normal Shamak, okay. Felt! It's been a while, Felt. No! No, don't you dare! Huh? Something's happening. He ate something poisonous. Oh. He got salmonella. Whoa. Wob, 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 wob. That takes a long time to charge. Sheesh. Not bad. Echidna. Did the kid not have this? I don't remember. I feel like... Huh? Huh? What? 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 It's like a JoJo character. That's the Rui they were talking about. They mentioned Rui before. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, but she doesn't know it. That makes sense. Wait, what did you say? What the woman does. Or what the woman says. Oh, look at the bones. We can finally say his name now. Yeah, it doesn't seem too celebratory. It doesn't seem like a great victory. Did you heal Otto? Anastasia?
ゃんと戻っとるよ。欠員なし。うちらの勝ちや。
さすがだぜ大将。エミリア様
This was so weird.
男見せたじゃねえか。当然。けどお前こそ大丈夫なのか？ボロボロでひでえ面だぞ。面のこと大将には言われたくねえよ。
よかった。ガーフィールも見た目よりずっと元気みたいで。元気すぎるかしら。ちょっとは怪我人らしい方が静かでいいのよ。おお、ガーフいた。どんどこどん。
てめえ人の上ではしゃいでんじゃん。
ミミおちゃんに言われてんの。男はなんか尻に敷くのがいいみたいな。
Jesus Christ, don't listen to that.
ベアトリスちゃんの言う通り、怪我人らしく
Here he is, the GOAT. He's the MVP.
いたのかよ、おっと。最初からいましたけど、しらしらしい。
Yeah, the audacity. Audacity, that's it.
しばらく歩くのに難儀しそうですが、ちゃんと治るそうですよ。
He's up already.
聞いたぞ、武道派内政官。危ない真似するなら一言相談しろよ。友達なんだろ。エミリア様をさらわれ、都市の命運まで背負わされたあなたに、さらに厄介な荷物を。僕は自分の友達にそんな押し付けばっかりするつもりはありません。本当に息汚い野郎だぜ。残念ながら暴食は取り逃がしました。でも収穫がないわけじゃありません。何？プリシラ様が滞在司教の一人を捕らえたんです。
Oh! Roy!
来てくれたんですね、あなた。
No, serious. Okay, here she is. I thought maybe Roy, but it's serious.
女の形をした精霊が私の愛しいベテルギレスに近寄る。
Here she is.
この状況で噛みつけるなんて随分余裕だな。
スバル、この手の輩に反省とか共感とか、そんな人間らしさを求めるだけ無駄かしら。危ないと思ったらすぐ割って入るからね。
お望み通り俺が話し相手だ。先に言っとくが、助けは
I still wonder what happened with Regulus's authority.
やられるかって。
Or Factor.
助けなんて期待していませんよ。そんな分かりきった話をして照れ隠しだなんて。本当に可愛い人ですね、あなたは。
お前たちの目的は何なんだ。全員で示し合わせて英知の書だの人工精霊だのを要求して何が目的だったんだ。
他の連中の考えなんて知りたくもありませんが、私たちが都市へ集ったのは福音書の指示ですよ。
また福音書。
Of course.
なんだってそんな本の言いなりになってるんだ。お前らの大好きな嫉妬の魔女の復活に役立つからが。
勘違いしないでください。
勘違い？
私が愛しているのはあなただけ、あなた一人だけなんです。嫉妬の魔女なんて私にとってはどうでもいい。
Oh, greed.
全部あなたにたどり着くために必要なだけのもの。
Right?
どうでもいいって他の奴らは。お前たちは最終的に何が望みなんだ。
さあ、ごめんね。あなた以外のことには興味がなくてわかりません。
もう
あなた、飲まれていますね。あなたは本当に私がいなくてはダメな人なんですから。
Damn! Jesus.
おっちょこちょいだからうまく手加減できないの。これ以上話すだけ無駄なのよ。
I'm guessing she's talking about greed. Yeah, pop off. Okay.
やめろ。何のつもりだ。やめろって言ってんだよ。
ごめんね。でも歌はいいですよね。そう教わったばかりなんです。
お前の歌とリリアナの歌を一緒にするな。お前のは違う別物だ。
それはあなたにも
Oh, it was Liliana's song? Okay, I didn't even realize it.
はあなたの中にいる。
Yeah, I thought so.
魂と魂が溶け合い、肉体と肉体が混ざり合っている。だからあなたの中からあの人を引きずり出す。あの人の目覚めを一番そばで見届ける。ありが 女は危険なだけなのよ。一つだけ忠告を。暴食に気をつけて。
Yeah,
美
I.
食家も悪食も飽食さえもあなたを奪おうとする。
Oh, so that's their names. All three of them. Okay, so we know for sure that there's only three of them, right?
どうよ。得られるものなんて何もねえ。ただ嫌な気分になった。
There's not gonna be like 17 of them.
手に手ぶら扱いすんなよ。一応聞けた話もなかったわけじゃない。本当かよ。兄弟連中に気に入られやすいのかね。ゾッとすること言うなよ。
スバル、あんまり慣れ合うんじゃないのよ。
なんで釣れねえな。起きるの手伝ってやったじゃねえか、ベアコ。
ベティがその呼び方を許すのはスバルだけかしら。
ああ、やれやれ。
ある？スバルに伝言伝えてくれてありがとね。
Damn, she looks
ああ、
kind of different in that angle.
ジョーちゃんも無事でよかったな。どうしたベアコ。アルトン何かあったのか。
これなのよ。あの男が持ってきたかしら。ベティが起きられたのはこれのおかげなのよ。
He's just very sassy.
そしてそれは聞くなと当人に言われている。
But he doesn't seem to have bad intentions, but he's sassy.
一人で暗躍してやがったんだよ。怪しすぎるだろ。
でもアルは悪い人じゃないと思うの。
Ah, taking words out of my
おか
mouth.
げでベアトリスが起きられてオットー君たちも助かったんでしょ。亡くなったら大弱りだった魔性石も見つけてくれてね。ググかしら。
やれやれ。エミリアタンにはかなわねえな。
うちはあの滞在式を生かしておくのは反対。絶対ろくなことにならんよ。それじゃクリシュ様を助ける手がかりがなくなる。ブンドの口から暴食や色欲のことを聞き出せるなんて
Absolutely not.
都合のいいことあると
I agree with Anastasia here.
そんなのただの推測じゃない。
俺はブンドから話を聞くのが
Really?
全くの無駄足になるとは思わない。だけどあいつを捕まえておくのが不安って考えもわかる。
どっちつかずなこと言ってスバル君はどっちの味方なわけ。
俺が言いたいのは急いで結論を出すなってことだよ。
I mean, isn't this...
座りなさい。ひとまずスバル殿の方が正しい。
分かってる分かってるから。
僕もフンドの処刑には反対です。
Hmm.
クリス様のことはもちろんですが、王国にとっても魔女教を知るまたとない機会だ。
I mean, if you have any kind of way...
騎士団に引き渡
If you have any kind of way to get the truth out of her, then sure. But do you have a way to do it? Reliably.
その役目は僕が。
ラインハルトが行くなら私も行く。無事にオートまで引っ張ってってやれよ。
I'm gonna trust Reinhardt.
それなら文句ねえだろ。
Whatever he says, I'm gonna agree with.
あとはハエの人らとナナシの人ら。特に色欲の被害者をどうするか。
Yeah.
あれは私でも直せない。
I completely forgot that they're still there.
治らないとかじゃなくて、ああいう生き物に作り変えられてしまってるの。おぞましき虫けらに姿を変えられた者どもは死を望んでおるじゃろうよ。元の姿に戻す見通しが立たぬのならば、そうしてやるのも慈悲であろう。
クリシラ、それは。
No, she's right.
口先だけの理想論など何の価値もない。待って、その問題私に任せてもらえない？面白い。ハンマ風情に何ができる？
Hmm.
今すぐ直してはあげられない。でもそのための方法を探す時間なら作れると思うの。氷の中で眠らせて。
そうか、コールドスリープ。確かにそれなら時間稼ぎが。
Cryostasis. Okay.
凍らせて眠らせる。
The same thing that she did to her people.
ただ氷漬けにして死なせてしまうだけなんやないの？心配ご無用。エミリア様は失敗などされません。なぜなら
I love Liliana.
名を残す偉人とはこういった試練を乗り越えるものだからです。随分と大口を叩いたものじゃないため、仮に貴様の見立てが外れればどうなる？その時は私の首を差し出すまでこのリリアナ吐いた唾は飲まんぜよ。
She's so cool.
歌目のさえずりに免じてわらわの慈悲は預けてやろう。任せて。必ずうまくやるわ。
Hey.
やってみせるがいい。それをもって貴様をわらわの敵と認めてやる。新しい朝は空を赤黄色に染める。昨日の喧騒。
この度は都市の防衛のために尽力していただき 本当に感謝の念に堪えません。感謝の気持ちは受け取るとして、桐高もよく無事だったな。私自身、死を覚悟しました。
This guy actually kind of grew on
しか
me.
しリリアナの歌声を思い出して、なんとか
He had some cool moments. Here it is. The cryostasis. Hmm. Thanks, man.
友人の力になれたのなら光栄だ。
Oh, cute. Ah. She bit her tongue. Cute. Wait, what? We're already. What?
これもこれもベアコ
Jesus Christ.
あとは桐高の行為に感謝だね。
These episodes are so short.
スバルと他のみんなにも。ねえスバル、あそこを見て。
俺はルースベルとティーナ。そういや、あの子たちを助けようとしたことから全部始まったんだよ。
These two have been through a lot.
本当によかった。
街もこんなになっちまったし、あの二人の無事だけを喜ぶってのは不謹慎かもしれねえけど。
喜ばなくっちゃ。だってスバルとそれから私たちみんなで頑張ってやり遂げたことだから。
だな。リカード。
おお、兄ちゃんも無事やったか。
お前その腕。
ちょっとどじってもうた。
Ooh.
けど腕一本で済んだんは奇跡みたいなもんや。まあ気にしすぎんなや。
What a guy.
そういやユリウス
Or wolf.
いるじゃねえか。なんだよ心配させんじゃねえよ。おいこの野郎。
この野郎。
忙しくしてる時にフラフラしてやがんなよ。ユリウス。顔が見えねえと心配になるだろうが。いや一般的な意見だが。
スバル、君は私のことか。
どうしたのスバル？取り込み中？
Oh no, she's gonna say who's Julius. Who are you? Nah, I can sense another who's Ram coming. 誰だっけ? Don't say it. Julius は誰のこと? Lamar. No, Lamar.
スバルの知り合いの人？
That's wild. That's actually wild. Oh my god, that's how you end the season. Oh yeah, is this gonna be like a staple now? I shouldn't be laughing, but at the end of the day, it kind of makes sense, I guess. It's the interesting thing is, Ricardo remembers him. I wonder if it's because Ricardo got reintroduced to him after their battle with Roy. I wonder if that's when he kind of like met him again. I guess after forgetting him, he met him again after that battle because they were together, right? And that's why he knows him now. It's not that he knows him from before. That would make sense, I guess. Obviously, Subaru just knows everything. I'm guessing because of like envy and stuff like that. Has it ever been like fully explained, maybe I'm just blanking on a detail, has it ever been fully explained why he even remembers everyone that others forget? Like, why he's able to resist the Gluttony's authority? Is it purely because of his return by death? I think so, right? I think that return by death is somehow keeping his memory safe, right? I think so. I think that's kind of like the main explanation for right now. At least that's my explanation to it. Anyways, that was a weird ending. It was very weird. Or weird. It didn't feel like a full-on victory. It felt... Because, obviously, what happened... First of all, are we to assume that Tifon's body is, like, safe and sound? Nobody touched it. They didn't achieve what they wanted. And we... You know, yeah, Tifon's body, we kept it. I think so. I think Tifon's body is safe and sound, and they didn't take it. And then the other thing is, we defeated one of the archbishops, right? Regulus. I'm pretty sure he's like known to be the strongest archbishop, right? And I'm pretty sure there's no real competition for it. Obviously, like, we're not counting witches into it, or like we're not counting Pandora into that equation. But yeah, out of the archbishops, I believe he is not. It's not even close that he's the strongest. That's interesting. So I guess that's a big victory for our guys. Now, the thing is, what happened with his witch factor, right? I would assume that they know about, like, obviously, when you defeat an archbishop, you need to take their witch factor, because they made a huge deal out of that when they were killing Betelgeuse, right? Or at least, well, the others wouldn't know it. Subaru would know it, though, because that was the timeline where Subaru had to go back, right? I believe that was a timeline that didn't actually happen. Or I guess that there was a race, because Subaru had to go back. Where the timeline where actually Betty gave him that information about the witches factor. I believe so. Correct me if I'm wrong, though. So others probably don't know. Well, even if it didn't happen, others wouldn't know about it, because it was only Subaru and Betty in that library at that moment when she was talking about it. But yeah, what happened with his witches factor, right? That's the main question now. What's the point of killing him if you're not gonna do anything with the witches factor? Or I guess there is a point, obviously, but yeah. That's the big thing. And then, what else is there? So it felt like there were so many things that happened in the previous episode that I was like, oh, that feels like a huge thing. Like, why did Aldebaran say, oh, like, the tension between Aldebaran and Anastasia in the previous episode was very weird, and I don't get what happened there, because he was like, oh, you just did something that, or you just said something that Anastasia would never say. And then he got like all battle ready. And then obviously we saw everything else happen and that get interrupted. But, or like Phyllis coming and stuff like that. But that, as far as I know, didn't get explained. Unless, once again, I missed something. So that was interesting. Like, I wonder what that was all about. And, Sirius is obviously still alive. Or honestly, like, whatever Reinhardt says, he's more well-equipped to make those decisions than I am, so I'm not gonna question him. My initial thought is, usually, like, I would say, if you don't have any kind of, like, spell that could actually make Wrath, like, talk about the truth and say the actual facts, then I don't think Wrath is ever gonna talk. I don't think Wrath is ever gonna say anything unless you have the actual, like, physical or, like, some kind of means to actually make Wrath talk. So yeah, I feel like if you don't have those means, then you should kill it and take the authority and, you know, level up yours, or like, I don't know, have someone who can take the authority in it. We know that Subaru is, I believe that the witches said that Subaru is kind of compatible with all authorities, right? I believe so, at least partially compatible with every single one of the authorities, which is interesting. That would mean that he can take in all of the authorities without any severe side effects, because Betelgeuse wasn't really compatible with the authority of greed. That's why he was, you know, hurting so much whenever he took it. He used the powers. But Subaru is a lot more compatible. Not fully. It still hurts him to use it, but more than Betelgeuse, right? So, yeah, I wonder. Well, if he just took in the authority of greed... Wait, not greed. Wait, I think I kept saying greed earlier. I meant sloth, by the way. My bad on that one. I think I kept mentioning greed that is in Subaru. I meant sloth. Yeah, I'm sure I'm gonna see comments about that. I meant sloth. It doesn't matter. Yeah, just switch up the authorities. But yeah, or factors. But yeah, I meant sloth is in Subaru, and I wonder what they're gonna do with greed, because I'm sure that I, you know, didn't forget about it. Surely they didn't forget about that. So yeah, I wonder what they're gonna do with that. I wonder what they're gonna do with Wrath. And there are three of Gluttony, so that's interesting as well. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see. So now, who's left? Gluttony, all three of them. Capella is left. Pride is missing. I'm trying to think. Wait, I'm blanking. I'm actually blanking. Pride is missing. Sloth is in Subaru. Greed is dead. Wrath is held captive, and Envy is obviously not present because Witch of Envy is still alive, so she still has the witches factor. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, all 7 down. Okay. What's next though? I don't know. I guess we'll see what's gonna be next. But let me talk about this season as a whole. This was a fantastic season, absolutely incredible season. Honestly, I don't mind waiting like 5 years for a season if it's this good. I have like countless other anime to watch in the meantime. Obviously, like if we could get one season every 3 years, I would be more than happy. But even if it takes them another 4 or 5 years, I don't mind. I'm not one of those guys who needs a new season every year or two. So I'm gonna wait for as long as they need to cook something as good as this. So let them take their time, and we'll see what's gonna happen with that. And I did love this season a lot. I still think that season 2 part 1 is probably my favorite season so far. Just because honestly, season 2 episode 4 is doing so much heavy lifting for me when it comes to season 2, because that's still by far my favorite ReZero episode. Parent and Child, I believe it's called. That episode is still by far my favorite ReZero episode. I doubt, or I wonder if there's ever going to be an episode of ReZero that's going to top that one. I guess we'll see. But so far, there hasn't been any that have even come close to, for me, personally, to topping that one. But I do wonder what the future arcs are going to hold for us. I'm sure they're going to be fantastic, like absolutely incredible. But as I said, this was an incredible season. Animation absolutely popped off. Like White Fox have been leveling up. Is it White Fox? Yeah, it is, right? Yeah, White Fox have been putting like all of their... you can tell the passion in this is insane. Like White Fox are not known for like their over-the-top animation or anything like that, but they definitely put every single ounce of like passion, talent, and just time, effort into this, and you can tell it looks fantastic, man. Also, voice acting was incredible as always. The story was insanely good, and yeah, it was just a really, really, really good season. So yeah, really good, really good. Definitely like up there with season 2. Like it's not far behind it at all. So I absolutely loved it. So yeah, that's about all. So you guys have shown a lot of support to this series on the channel, so thank you for that. It's been getting really good views. I appreciate that a lot. It kind of makes me more excited to watch the series, obviously. But yeah, you've been great, so thank you guys for watching this with me. Hope you guys enjoyed this series as much as I have. So yeah, once again, thank you. But I'm gonna end it here. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next series. Peace.